Hi, I'm Jeff with Enjoy Our Yard. It's blueberry season, and we found that in order for us to enjoy the blueberries and not the birds, we needed to hook up some type of a trellis. This will be our second year with the setup that we have. It worked so well last year that I'm going to be expanding it. We had 4 bushes that we took care of last year. We have 4 more for this year, so I'm going to show you some tips. Might be something you can use for your yard as well. So you can see the blueberries are about to ripen, so we need to get our trellis up. Here's what we did, and I'm going to be project today. Bought some posts, 7-foot posts. They're going to go in. The fencing I got was 4 feet wide by 50 feet long. I'm going to make 2 sections out of that. We'll put the posts at 8 feet, and then I have some cable ties to attach it. The first thing I did was to dig a 2-foot hole, and that was to support the clothesline post. I got that on Facebook Marketplace for $10. I will secure that with some gravel. That height's going to be equal to what we had. It gives me plenty of room to walk under. So we secured the clothesline pole with the 2-foot hole, and then secured it with some gravel and dirt. The next is to put these posts up. These end up being 8 feet apart because of the wire fencing is 4-foot sections. We'll have 2 of them. So we're just securing our last 2 posts. We'll have 4 total. Try to keep things level. Next project is to cut the wire fencing and drape that over these posts. So once I unrolled the wire fencing, it's a 50-foot roll, and we figured to cover the entire span here would take about 20 feet. So I cut about 20.5 feet. Very easy to cut with the wire cutter. The 2 pieces then is what we draped over the clothesline pole. I put this little weed here as a marker to be the center to help locate it when we put over the clothesline pole. Once we had the 2 together, we took the cable ties. Very easy to connect those. In this particular setup, we found there's 120 rectangle blocks to cover from one side to the other. The cable ties are every one at the top to give it support once you got to the sides. So the package had 100, we could use 100 for the whole deal. The last thing to help reinforce it was we added some ductwork as a way to protect the wire from coming through the post here. Last year we used a plastic flower pot, which worked out well. This should be a little bit sturdier, so that we made 6 almost rectangle pieces with some duct tape to help from cutting the wire or the nylon mesh. So basically it came together pretty quickly. The last step will be to put the mesh netting. So the mesh netting went on pretty easily. This particular brand we got through Amazon. It was 25 feet by 25 feet. This is our 3rd season for using it, and we're finding it looks almost brand new. There's been no tears. It doesn't tangle too much. We do secure it during the winter so that mice can't get to it. This particular brand, by being 25 by 25, we've got plenty of excess. What we do with that excess, we have some boards to secure that will act as a barrier for the birds. I got in the 2nd clothesline pole, so that's going to work. But the easiest thing is to use the PVC pipe, which you can often find for free through Marketplace. But that'll serve as a door, very easy to lift it up and set it down when we're done. That will keep the birds out. And speaking of blueberry season, we have our first 2 today. So hope these tips are something that you can enjoy. We're going to now double our amount of blueberries because we're going to have 8 bushes and they're all ready to bear. So the project's done and actually went together pretty easily. I will try to put a link down below the video just to show the name of the mesh that we got. Here's a couple more tips, and the reason I like making these videos is I get to learn from watching other videos, and when you have some of these type of projects, you learn over time what's going to work the best. So here's what our sort of evolution of having the blueberries covered were. The first couple years we got the blueberry bushes, we realized we weren't getting any berries because the birds got them, and by the time they were ripe, thinking it was time to pick them, the birds got there first. So that was the first couple years. Then we decided to make some type of a framework, and this was out of PVC piping. So we're now using this to cover our strawberry beds, which right now they're finishing, so the mesh netting went from the strawberry beds to the blueberry trellis. So that sort of saves some space as well, because we can use a couple different times. But our first netting that we got was a green mesh, very close together, probably less than a ½ inch, but very much tangled. It tore, hardly got a year out of it. And the problem with this type of a framework was every time you wanted to go get to the blueberries, I had to physically pick up the frame, which meant the mesh, everything went along with it. Much more messy, and it was harder to get to the blueberries. This particular frame covered 2. So 2 were protected, but not as easy access. That's what gave me the idea to take the clothesline pole and the wire fencing. So if you find these helpful, please like or subscribe. We appreciate you watching, and that's it.